The sheer output of Arsenal's attacking play this season defies all conventional logic. On the surface, the numbers paint a picture of a relentless, elite offensive unit. They have found the net 24 times in the Premier League, averaging 2 goals per game, a rate that surpasses traditional powerhouses. They lead England in chances created, with a staggering 118 opportunities engineered. Their expected goals tally, sitting at approximately 21.5, confirms this is no statistical fluke or a product of fortunate finishing. This is a machine generating high-probability shots through design and deliberate execution. Yet the context surrounding these achievements is what makes the entire operation seem almost fictional. The players who were supposed to be the focal point of this onslaught, the specialist strikers Victor Gyökeres and Kai Havertz, have been absent for a significant portion of the campaign. One has been missing since early November. The other since August. In their absence, Arsenal's attack has not merely survived, it has thrived, becoming the most prolific and creative force in the division. This isn't just a team coping without its key men, it's a system that has evolved to become more potent and multifaceted precisely because of their absence. The left flank is patrolled by a Brazilian whirlwind of pace and newfound intelligence. The white side is dominant. Every piece of this attacking puzzle has excelled, while the most obvious pieces were missing. And with those traditional strikers nearing a return, alongside the comeback of the club captain, a terrifying question emerges. If Arsenal are this devastating while incomplete, what unfolds when the entire Arsenal is finally fully loaded? The empirical evidence is overwhelming and leaves little room for debate. Scoring 24 goals in 12 matches is the output of a champion-caliber attack. But the underlying data reveals the true depth of their dominance. Leading the Premier League in chances created signifies a relentless, probing offensive that constantly applies pressure. The high expected goals figure demonstrates that these are not speculative efforts from distance, but concentrated, high-value opportunities born from penetrating possession and incisive movement. They average nearly 16 shots per game, a volume that reflects both territorial control and attacking intent. His chances stem from every conceivable source: sustained open play possession, deadly set-piece routines, and lightning-quick transitional bursts. Every weapon is calibrated and ready. This relentless output becomes absurd when framed by the striking crisis. Without Gyökeres and Havertz, the traditional focal points, many teams would see their offensive structure crumble. Arsenal's response has been the opposite. Manager Mikel Arteta's solution was not to panic, but to adapt philosophically. He deployed a midfielder in a false nine role, encouraged rotational play from his wingers, and placed ultimate faith in the systemic framework and the versatility of the collective. The result is 24 goals, 118 chances, and an XG of 21.5. Built not around a lone striker, but on collective tactical intelligence and symbiotic movement. This is the hallmark of a mature system, not a lucky streak. It's proof of a philosophy where the goal-scoring burden is a shared responsibility, distributed across multiple dynamic threats. The imminent return of the strikers isn't about finding a missing piece. It's about integrating a new, potent option into an already functioning and terrifying machine. The right wing is the established domain of Bukayo Saka, a player who has transformed reliability into a form of artistry. At 24, he operates with the composure and decisive impact of a veteran. There are no visible off days, no Dixon influence during major fixtures, just a relentless weekly delivery of menace. His 1-versus-1 prowess is now a Premier League institution. Defenders dedicate entire training sessions to studying his favoured move. The cut inside onto his lethal left foot. They know it's coming. They prepare for the double feint, the shoulder drop, the explosive change of pace. And yet, consistently, they are left trailing. Saka has mastered the art of executing the known to create the unstoppable. But his game has expanded far beyond dribbling. His crossing is precise and varied. His decision-making in the final third is exceptionally mature. And he possesses an innate understanding of when to drive, when to pass, and when to release a shot. His consistent output in goals and assists is matched by his creation of key passes and shots on target, making him the attack's most dependable cornerstone. Providing the depth behind him is Noni Madueke, a player offering a compellingly different profile. Where Saka is calculated and manipulative, Madueke is direct and explosively vertical. He attacks spaces with pure pace and carries a shooter's confidence, playing with the hunger of a man with a point to prove. His impactful substitute appearances, including a composed finish against Bayern Munich, exemplify the quality Arteta demands from his squad players. This pairing makes the right flank a perpetual problem. Defenders exhaust themselves contending with Saka's guile for 70 minutes, only to face Madueke's fresh-legged, direct running. This isn't merely squad depth, it's a strategic 1-2 punch designed to overwhelm opponents across the full duration of a match. On the opposite flank, the evolution of Gabriel Martinelli has been profound. The raw components, blistering pace, endless energy were always present. This season, however, they have been fused with a sharpened footballing intellect. His movement off the ball is now strategic. He no longer makes blind, hopeful runs. He makes calculated, timed sprints that exploit the half space behind defensive lines, presenting himself as the perfect outlet at the perfect moment. His sensational goal against Bayern Munich was a masterpiece of this intelligence. A long, arcing run from deep. Initiated by reading the passer's intention, followed by the composure to round the goalkeeper and finish. It was a goal of pace, yes, but also of vision, anticipation, and icy calm. His finishing has matured, moving from frantic to clinical. Complementing him is Leandro Trossard, the embodiment of subtle craft. Trossard does not rely on Martinelli's electrifying speed. His weapon is a sublime technical grace, a velvet first touch, instantaneous decision-making, and an uncanny spatial awareness. He is a problem solver in congested areas, able to receive, turn, and release in tight spaces where others would lose possession. His goal against Tottenham, controlling a difficult ball, pivoting, and finishing in a crowded box, was a testament to this unique skill set. His versatility allows him to slot in anywhere across the front line seamlessly. Together, they form a perfect tactical duality on the left. Martinelli's threat in behind forces defenders to drop deep, creating space in front of the defence. Trossard, in turn, excels in precisely that space, picking apart teams that sit back. If a defence pushes up to squeeze that space, Martinelli punishes them with his pace. Arteta masterfully rotates them based on the game's needs. Martinelli for direct penetration, Trossard for controlled possession. It is a flank equipped with two world-class options, offering diametrically opposed yet equally effective threats. The true engine room of this attacking renaissance, however, operates in the critical spaces between midfield and attack. This season, that zone has been commandeered by Ebery Eze, a player who arrived as high-quality cover but has performed as a bona fide superstar. Thrust into the spotlight following an injury to Martin Ødegaard, Eze didn't just fill a role, he redefined it. His North London derby hat-trick was a historic announcement. A trio of goals showcasing thunderous power, icy composure, and exquisite technique. This was not a deputy keeping the seat warm. This was a leading man claiming the stage. His movement is elusive, constantly drifting into pockets of space that disconnect him from marking midfielders. He receives the ball under intense pressure and possesses the close control and calmness to always find a solution. His visionary passing threads through defensive lines that appear impenetrable. His assist for Martinelli against Bayern was a glimpse of his creative genius. Eze has proven he belongs in any starting 11, irrespective of who is fit. Alongside him, the transformation of Declan Rice has added a new dimension. Initially envisioned as the defensive anchor, Rice has blossomed into a complete box-to-box force. He maintains his foundational defensive excellence, breaking up play, intercepting passes, providing structure, but now augments it with powerful, late-arriving runs into the penalty area. Criving carries through the heart of midfield and a genuine threat from distance. His intelligence is key. He times these forward surges perfectly, never neglecting his defensive duties but choosing his moments to become an unstoppable auxiliary attacker. This midfield partnership creates an unsolvable dilemma for opponents. Focus on marking Eze's creative drifting and Rice will power past you into the vacated space. Devote attention to tracking Rice's runs from deep, and Eze will exploit the freedom to dictate play. The most frightening prospect is that this is happening while club captain Martin Ødegaard is gradually returning to fitness. The potential of integrating Ødegaard's own unique creative genius into this dynamic makes Arsenal's midfield an unprecedented creative hub. The ultimate source of Arsenal's attacking potency is a systemic fluidity that borders on chaos for opponents. This is not an attack of rigid assignments and predictable patterns. It is an ever-shifting kaleidoscope of movement and interchange designed to disorient and dismantle defensive structures. In any given sequence, Martinelli may start wide before cutting infield. Saka may drift centrally, allowing his fullback to overlap. Eze may drop deep to collect, triggering Rice to advance. And the false nine may pull centre-backs out of position. Players rotate positions instinctively, ensuring the man in a dangerous area is never the one the defender initially prepared to mark. The fullbacks, like Jurriën Timber and Ricardo Calafiori, are tactical chameleons, sometimes inverting to become midfielders, sometimes overlapping as traditional wingers. This constant motion is engineered to create numerical superiorities, or overloads, in specific zones. Arsenal will concentrate 5 players on one flank, forcing the opposition to shift and commit defenders, before suddenly switching play to an isolated winger on the opposite side. This principle of controlled chaos extends perfectly to the substitutes. A player like Trossard or Madueke doesn't need time to adapt. They enter the pitch and immediately understand their role within the fluid structure. This was evident against Bayern, where substitutes directly contributed to goals. The speed of combination play is the final, devastating component. Arsenal's passing in the final third is quick, one-touch and purposeful. It's a series of rapid 1-2s, clever flicks and sudden switches that prevent defences from ever settling into a stable shape. By the time an opponent understands the pattern, Arsenal have already transitioned to a new one. This is the masterpiece of Arteta's design. A perfect marriage of rigorous tactical organisation and expressive individual freedom. It is a system that doesn't just use talent, it amplifies it, creating a collective force greater than the sum of its brilliant parts. And as the final pieces of the squad return to fitness, this attacking constellation is not just aiming to win games, it is presenting a blueprint for a new, unstoppable form of football.